Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Nye from Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. Today we are going to talk about school lunches. You are going to pretend to be a food service evaluator to decide whether 4 sample lunches meet the standards set by the federal government. Let's see what the USDA regulations are. Let's take a look at what the USDA requires for each of the food groups from our MyPlate. So let's start out with fruits and vegetables. What is required for fruits and vegetables? We need 1 fruit and 1 vegetable, or 2 fruits, or 2 vegetables. So here's a closer look at what some of those fruits and vegetables are. We've got apple, orange, corn, broccoli, grapes, and blueberries. Fruits and veggies provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Make sure to eat a variety of colors when you eat your fruits and vegetables. Think of the rainbow. Make sure you eat every color of the rainbow for your fruits and veggies. The same color of fruits and vegetables usually have the same vitamins and minerals. So if you eat a variety like the rainbow of all the colors, you will get all the vitamins and minerals that fruits and vegetables have to offer. And here's that closer look of the rainbow of fruits and vegetables. All right, our next food group we're going to talk about is grains. Each school lunch requires 1 grain. Grains provide carbohydrates and energy. So let's take a look at some of those grains that we can eat. We've got bread, noodles, rice, and hamburger buns. Our next food group is the protein group. Each school lunch is required to have a protein, which provides iron for energy and protein for growth. A protein for school lunch can be any of these: meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, peas, eggs, and nuts. Cheese or yogurt can also be substituted for meat since dairy foods are also a good source of protein. Here's a reminder of what some of these proteins are. So we've got peanut butter, hamburger, salmon, and black beans. All right, and our last food group is the dairy group. Each school lunch is required to have 1 low-fat or fat-free milk. Milk provides calcium for strong bones and protein for growth. And here's a closer look of that milk. All right, now that you're an expert on what school lunches require, let's take a look at lunch number 1 to see if it meets all the requirements. Just in case you need it, the requirements are written in the blue box below. So lunch number 1, we have hamburger on a bun with lettuce and tomato, a fruit salad, and whole milk. I'll give you a second to think about it. Go through the requirements and see if the lunch has all of the requirements in it. All right, let's go through the lunch. Does it meet the requirements for fruits and vegetables? Yes, it has lettuce and tomato and fruit salad. So lots of fruits and vegetables. Does it meet the requirement for grains? Yes, the hamburger bun is a grain. Does it meet the requirements for protein? Yes, the hamburger would be considered a protein. And finally, does it meet the requirements for dairy? No, it does not. Did you catch that? So it has a milk, but it's a whole milk, and we need it to be either low fat or fat free. So this lunch is a fail. All right, let's try lunch number 2. Let's see what this lunch has to offer. So we have a vegetable soup, an egg salad sandwich, an apple, and fat-free milk. So I'll give you a couple seconds to look it over so you can decide if it passes or fails. All right, let's take a look. Does it meet the requirement for fruits and vegetables? So between the vegetable soup and the apple, it does. What about a grain? Yes, the bread for the egg salad sandwich would be the grain. What about proteins? Yes, the eggs in the egg salad sandwich would be a protein. And finally, the milk. Is it a fat-free milk? It is, so that would pass. This meal passes. All right, lunch number 3. Let's take a look. We have cheese pizza with sausage, onions, mushroom, and pineapple chunks, and a low-fat milk. I'll give you some time to look it over and see if you think if it passes or fails. All right, let's go through it together. Does this meal fit the requirements for fruits and vegetables? Yes, it has onions, mushrooms, and pineapples. What about a grain? Yes, the pizza crust. Does it have a protein? It does. The sausage is the protein. And does the milk work? Yes, it is low fat, so that would work. This meal is a pass. All right, and finally, we are going to lunch number 4. We have orange slices, a waffle, bacon, and a fat-free milk. I'll give you some time to look it over. All right, let's talk about it. So, does it meet the fruit and vegetable requirements? So, it has a fruit, orange slices, but that is it. So, it doesn't meet the requirement. So, this lunch is already a fail. But let's go through the rest of the lunch to see if it meets the other requirements. Does it have a grain? Yes, the waffle is a grain. How about a protein? Yes, the bacon is the protein. And let's see, fat-free milk is required, so it does meet that requirement. Besides the fruit and vegetable requirement, this meal meets all the other ones. So unfortunately, this meal is still a fail. All right, thanks for joining me today. I hope you had fun being a food service evaluator. Next time you look at your school's menu, make sure it meets all the requirements. Have a great day.
All right, we're going to do a physical activity now. Our activity is called Veggies and Verbs. So the first thing you need to do is think of a vegetable. It could be your favorite vegetable or just one that pops into your head. So for me, I'm going to say a carrot. Now, I want you to think of a verb that starts with the same letter as the vegetable you thought of. So carrot starts with a C, so I need to think of a verb that starts with a C. So I'm going to say climb. Carrots, climb. Both start with C. So now we're going to get our bodies up and moving, and we're going to act out the verbs that we can think of. So I'll give you a few examples, and then at the end, if you have a little time, maybe you can do your own examples. All right, so let's get our bodies up and let's find some space and let's get started. All right, I found a little room to spread out. Hopefully you did the same. So now we're going to get started on our movement. So remember, our first one was carrot and climb. So we're going to pretend like we're climbing. So put your one leg up, and your hand. We're going to pretend like we're climbing up a ladder. And we'll do this for about 10 seconds. You can go a little faster than me if you want. All right, go ahead, put your feet down. Nice job. My next vegetable that I'm thinking of is a tomato. So what verb should I do for tomato? How about twirl? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to twirl around a few times. Are you ready? Let's go. Go the other way. Let's do one more. All right, go ahead and stop. Nice job. Ooh, kind of dizzy now. All right, how about our next one? So my next vegetable, I'm going to do broccoli. So for broccoli, my verb is going to be balance. So let's see if we can stand on one leg. So go ahead, put your leg up. I'm going to put my arms out. We're going to balance. Nice job. How about let's try the other leg. See if you can balance on the other leg. Sometimes we do better on one leg than the other. All right, go ahead and put your legs down. Nice job. Our next one is mushrooms. So for mushrooms, I'm going to march. Ready? So I'm going to go a little bit slower, but feel free to go a little faster than me. Keep your knees up. Nice job. All right, go ahead and stop. And our last one we're going to do is lettuce. So for lettuce, we're going to lean. So lean to one side. This is actually a really good stretch. Lean to the other. Lean. All right, let's do one more. Lean. All right, great job. So if you were able to think of a few vegetables and verbs on your own, now would be the time to do them. Thanks so much for joining me and getting our bodies up and moving. Today we're going to read a story called Gregory the Terrible Eater. It's by Mitchell Sharmat. And he says, "For Andrew and the goat who tried to eat his coat." Once there was a goat named Gregory. Gregory liked to jump from rock to rock, kick his legs into the air, and butt his head against walls. "I'm an average goat," said Gregory. But Gregory was not an average goat. Gregory was a terrible eater. Every time he sat down to eat with his mother and father, he knew he was in for trouble. "Would you like a tin can, Gregory?" asked Mother Goat. "No, thanks," said Gregory. "How about a nice box? A piece of rug? A bottle cap?" asked Father Goat. "Bah," said Gregory unhappily. "Well, I think this is a meal fit for a goat," said Mother Goat as she chewed on an old shoe. "It certainly is," said Father Goat as he ate his shirt, buttons and all. "I don't know why you're such a fussy eater, Gregory." "I'm not fussy," said Gregory. "I just want fruits, vegetables, eggs, fish, bread, and butter. Good stuff like that." Mother Goat stopped eating the shoe. "Now what kind of food is that, Gregory?" she asked. "It's what I like," said Gregory. "It's revolting," said Father Goat. He wiped his mouth with his napkin. After Gregory was excused from the table, Father Goat said, "Gregory is such a terrible eater." "I wonder what's wrong with him," said Mother Goat. Mother and Father Goat ate their evening newspaper in silence. The next morning, Mother and Father Goat were enjoying a pair of pants and a coat for breakfast. Gregory came to the table. "Good morning, Gregory," said Father and Mother Goat. "Good morning," said Gregory. "May I have some orange juice, cereal, and bananas for breakfast, please?" "Oh, no," Mother Goat said. "Do have some of this nice coat." "Take a bite out of these pants," said Father Goat. "Bah," said Gregory, and he left the table. Father Goat threw down his napkin. "That does it," he said. "Gregory just isn't eating right. We must take him to the doctor." Father and Mother Goat took Gregory to the doctor. Dr. Ram was munching on a few pieces of cardboard. "What seems to be the trouble?" he asked. "Gregory is a terrible eater," said Mother Goat. "We've offered him the best: shoes, boxes, magazines, tin cans, coats, pants. But all he wants are fruits, vegetables, eggs, fish, orange juice, and other horrible things." "What do you have to say about all this, Gregory?" asked Dr. Ram. "I want what I like," said Gregory. "Makes sense," said Dr. Ram. He turned to Mother and Father Goat. "I've treated picky eaters before," he said. "They have to develop a taste for good food slowly. Try giving Gregory one new food each day until he eats everything." That night for dinner, Mother Goat gave Gregory spaghetti and a shoelace and tomato sauce. "Not too bad," said Gregory. The next day, she gave him string beans and a rubber heel cut into small pieces. "The meal was good and rubbery," said Gregory. The next day, after that, Mother Goat said, "We have your favorite today, vegetable soup, but there is one condition. You also have to eat the can." "Okay," said Gregory. "What's for dessert?" "Ice cream," said Father Goat, "but you have to eat the box too." "Yummy," said Gregory. "I'm proud of you," said Father Goat. "You're beginning to eat like a goat." "I'm learning to like everything," said Gregory. One evening, Father Goat asked, "Has anyone seen my striped necktie?" Not since breakfast, said Mother Goat. Come to think of it, I haven't seen my sewing basket today. I left it in the living room after supper last night. Father Goat turned to Gregory. Gregory, have you been eating between meals? Yes, said Gregory. I can't help it. Now I like everything. Well, said Mother Goat, it's all right to eat like a goat, but you shouldn't eat like a pig. Oh, said Gregory. After Gregory went to bed, Mother Goat said, I'm afraid Gregory will eat my clothes hamper. Yes, and then my toolkit will be next, said Father Goat. He's eating too much. We'll have to do something about it. The next evening, just before supper, Mother and Father Goat went to the town dump. They brought home 8 flat tires, a 3-foot piece of barber pole, a broken violin, and half a car. They piled everything in front of Gregory's sandbox. When Gregory came home for supper, he said, What's all the stuff in the yard? Your supper, said Father Goat. It all looks good, said Gregory. Gregory ate the tires and the violin. Then he slowly ate the barber pole. But when he started in on the car, he said, I've got a stomach ache. I have to lie down. Gregory went to his room. I think Gregory ate too much junk, said Father Goat. Let's hope so, said Mother Goat. All night Gregory tossed and twisted and moaned and groaned. The next morning he went down for breakfast. What would you like for breakfast today, Gregory? Asked Father Goat. Scrambled eggs and 2 pieces of wax paper and a glass of orange juice, said Gregory. That sounds just about right, said Mother Goat. And it was. All right, that's the end of our story. Thanks for reading with me. Hi friends, it's Mrs. Nye back to share another healthy recipe with you. So our recipe that we're going to do today is called a rainbow coleslaw. You'll notice that our ingredients are all different colors, kind of like the colors of the rainbow. So that's why we're calling it a rainbow coleslaw. So what we have, we've got a red cabbage and some green cabbage. We also have red onion. So you'll notice that these are both called red cabbage and red onion, even though they kind of look purple. We also have a bell pepper, so today we're using yellow, but you could use any color that you have. We've got some carrots, and we're going to cube up some cheese to put on top. Our dressing today is a mayo dressing with some red wine vinegar and celery seed. So what we're going to do, we're going to thinly slice the cabbage, we're going to chop up the onion and the peppers, we're going to shred some of the carrot, and then we're going to combine it all. So let's get started. If you've never seen the inside of a red cabbage before, this is what it looks like when you slice into it. All right, friends, let's start with the dressing. So I already have 1/2 cup of mayonnaise in a bowl, and now I'm going to add in a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Why is that not working? I'll just take that. All right, let's start over. Okay friends, let's start with the dressing. So I already have a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise in a bowl, and now I just need to add 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And then we are also going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed. Round, combine that all up, and this will be our yummy dressing. Smells good already. Okay. Next, over here, I have our cabbages. So I have our green and purple cabbage already chopped, and now I'm just going to add in the rest of our veggies. So we had a 1/2 cup of shredded carrots, half a cup of onion, a 1/2 cup of our yellow bell pepper, just going to combine this together. Oh, look at all those colors. Lots of different colors of the rainbow. All right, now that's mixed up, I'm going to add in our dressing. And stir to combine this. All right, so a coleslaw is a great way to get in a ton of different vegetables that are all different colors too. All right, and there you have it. There's our coleslaw, and then we can also add in some of the cheese on top. And we have our rainbow coleslaw.